if you're not a millionaire, then take it from me. There's absolutely no point for you to bank at a big box bank versus something smaller, more local, like a credit union. And let me tell you why. I'm Ella Gurfinkel, Senior Loan Officer with Team Ella at Fairway Independent Mortgage. I'm going to give you my 5 cents, well, more than that, on why the big box banks are not the best choice to park your money. Do you know that at a bank, you're only a customer? At a credit union, however, you are a shareholder. You are a member, meaning you actually have a say in what the credit union actually does and how they're run. You get to vote in the shareholders meeting because by having an account within a credit union, you actually own shares of that credit union. So technically, you are in control. Now, is that the main reason why you should be using local credit unions or national credit unions for that matter versus the big box banks? Of course not. That, my friends, is only the tip of the iceberg. That is only one of the reasons where, if you want to be in control, that was something to consider and something to chew on. Now, let's move on. If you're banking at one of those behemoth, huge institutions, how's your customer service? Have you been able to talk to a live person? Have you been able to resolve your issues by coming into a branch? Or have you been redirected to a call center overseas where you can barely understand the person on the other end of the line? Come on, let's be honest. We all have been there, right? When you call a bank because you got some kind of an issue or question and you can't readily find the information on their website because it's buried so deep, it's going to take you hours to sift through page after page after page until you actually either find something, and you're lucky, or you actually don't even find it. So next thing you do, you hop on the phone, and now you're going down the rabbit hole of a phone tree, press 1 for this, 21 for that, and everything else in between. And you get lucky if your call doesn't get dropped somewhere in between. But when you do get through to somebody, 90% of the time, you're talking to a person overseas. I'm not knocking people with accents. I happen to be one of those. I'm a zero-gen immigrant myself. So been there, done that, when you have to ask over and over again for somebody to slow down, or somebody to repeat what they're saying, or somebody to explain what they meant because your vocabulary is not good enough. I get that. And I get that the people overseas at the call centers are simply doing their jobs. I also get that. No questions about it. But when I'm calling because there is a problem and I'm stressed, or because I have a question that needs to be resolved, I want to be able to talk to somebody who can actually understand what I'm asking instead of actually reading off of a computer screen and just repeating a script over and over again. I'm sorry, I just went down that rabbit hole and line myself. I don't need that. I need a resolution to my problem. I need an answer to my question. I need to know what to do if or what to do when, not listen to another iteration of the script and waste my time. If you want to actually talk to somebody who can understand your questions and get them resolved, then credit unions are a way to go. And absolutely no less important, the credit unions do not nickel and dime you for opening multiple accounts, for having a low balance on the account, or for having an account with them, period. It's your money, but you're also a stakeholder and a member in that institution. Where at the majority of big box banks, God forbid, something happens and your account drops below a certain limit or a certain threshold, you're going to start getting charged. Not so much with the credit unions. And personally, I've never had a problem walking into a branch of my credit union, and yes, I do bank with a credit union and credit union only. There's never been an issue walking into a bank branch and not getting the issue or question resolved. And again, to me, that's what matters the most. Are they my competition in the mortgage sphere? Of course they are. So why am I talking about you moving your banking potentially from a big box bank to a credit union when they could be my competition? Because yes, they do banking and they do mortgages. We, on the mortgage banking only side, do mortgages still better. We don't do your deposit accounts. We don't open credit cards. We don't do car loans. And a whole slew of other things that the banking institution or credit unions in general do. But I care about your financial well-being and I care about great customer service. And those are not usually had at a bank. Now, there is a place for big banks, don't take me wrong. There are certain things big banks can do that the credit unions can't. For example, there are not very many credit unions I know that will be able to open an account without the social security number. I'm sure those exist, but certain big banks actually can and are able to open accounts and even credit cards for people without a social. I'm only talking about legally in the States, people with various visa types who either come here for work or come here on business. Not always will those new residents have a social right away, but they do need a bank account. And there's a place for big banks in that sphere. Why did I start my video today with saying, unless you're a millionaire, you don't want to bank at a big box bank? Because if you are in the higher earner category, the big banks have private banking. They will assign a representative to you. But if you're not in that high earner, high net worth category, and most of us aren't, then you're just an account number to them, and you're just a Joe Blow customer. And back to the credit union, you are a member, which means you belong, and you're a shareholder. And that, to me, changes the whole equation. Now, I want to know what you think, so please comment below, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.